Hi guys. Hope you're doing well today. We are going to start this video with notes. So you'll want to pause, get your notes all ready, and then when you're ready, get your notebook all ready, and when you're ready to go, you can unpause. And here we go. Today's title is Cube Roots. And before we talk about cube roots, we're just going to recap square roots, because remembering square roots is going to help us understand cube roots better. So in our recap of square roots, and you probably don't need this for notes, but if you want to, you can have them. That is the symbol. And there's three ways, there's more than three ways that we can think about it, but there are three ways that I gave us to think about square root. So square root of, let's do 16, means what number times itself equals 16. Or you could think of it in terms of what number squared, or what number to the second power equals 16. And you could think of it as a square has an area of 16. What is the side length? And the warning was don't divide by 2. That is the trap that people will fall in. People will want to say square root of 16 equals 8, and that is wrong. That's the mistake. So don't do that one. Okay? Warning, don't divide by 2. So square root of 16 is 4. I'm just going to write that up here. Square root of 16 equals 4 because 4 times 4 squared equals 16. Okay? I'm going to erase this, and then you can come back. You can pause. Sorry, I got distracted. The mail truck is turning around, and I was wondering, is he bringing me something? But he's not. She. It's a she. Sorry. The other thing that we saw was that square roots are inverse of the second power. And a lot of you guys commented on that in your video response form. So, for example, if you have the square root of 437 squared, the square and the square root cancel each other out. Boom, boom, because they are inverse operations. Okay, the same if you have 437 squared, and then you're going to take the square root of it. Those cancel each other out. Inverse operations. Oh, look at that. Square roots. Okay, so cube roots. I forgot to tell you I was erasing. Sorry. So this is where you definitely want to start taking notes if you haven't already. The symbol for cube root is this. It looks like a square root sign, but then it has a little 3 right here. That is the symbol for cube root. So it's almost like square root, but we've got a 3. Okay. Cube root is the inverse operation of the third power. A lot of you guys asked me, does square root cancel out other exponents? And it does not. Square root and squared are inverse operations. Cube root and the third power, or cubed, are inverse operations. And you don't need to know this, but it goes on. There's a fourth root. That's the inverse of the fourth power. You don't need to know that. And then there's a fifth root, a sixth root. Anytime there's any power that you can have a root as the inverse of that power. So the symbol for cube root is that. Cube root is the inverse operation. Okay, to take the cube root. So let's do it this way. Let's say cube root of 8 means, there's 3 ways you can think of it. What number to the third power gives you 8? You could also think about it as what number cubed gives you 8. You could also think about it, I'm going to erase this. A cube has a volume of 8. Not my best cube. 8 cubic units. If you have this, means what is the side length of a cube with a volume of 8. Okay. So the number times itself 3 times. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, because 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Okay, or you can say it 2 to the third power is 8. Okay, so the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, and a lot of you, I'm going to erase this, asked me in the last video, is there a formula for square roots? And there is not. So to be able to do like the square root of 64, you just have to know that 8 to the second power is 64, or 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, the same with cube roots. Okay, so if you see a problem that says the cube root of 216 and you need to evaluate that, you're going to ask yourself, what number cubed or what number to the third power is 216? So pretty much you have to know your perfect cubes. The answer to this is 6. Cube root of 216 is 6. So here's your warning. Just like the square root warning was don't divide by 2, the cube root warning, cube root is not the same as divide by 3. You're going to be really tempted to do that. When you divide, I'm going to erase this. When you divide something by 3, three goes into 1 7 times, that's 21, that's 0, 6, 3 goes in. Okay, what that means is 216 can be split into 3 groups of 72. When you divide by 3, When you divide by 3, you're splitting into 3 groups. 3 equal groups. Okay? This is different. You're splitting it into 3 equal groups that add together. 72 plus 72 plus 72. Okay? That's the same as 72 times 3. Okay? When you're taking the cube root of 216, you're wondering what 3 things, so this is what 3 things plus each other equals 216. You want to know what 3 things times each other equals 216, and you just have to know that 6. You just have to know this part. Okay, so when you do cube roots on Khan today, I'm going to have you use the perfect cube chart that you made. So you made a perfect cube chart. Use that because I'm not expecting you to memorize all your cube roots. It'd be great if you had 1 to 10 memorized. It's fine if you have 1 to 6 memorized. If you're working on your squares and you've got a lot to memorize there, the cubes are honestly less important. So you can use your cube root chart to do the Khan, and I will show you how to do it on a calculator. A calculator will do square and cube roots for you, and we are going to do that at some point soon, but not too soon. Okay, hope that explains cube roots to you guys. We're going to practice this in class tomorrow. Hope you're doing well. See you soon. Bye.